the border.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, SKN.
Weather for today is partly cloudy with a 60% or moderate chance of showers. And I noticed that as I was driving here to work, Mimi, it looked overcast. I'm one of those people who actually does not mind when it looks gloomy.
No, I don't. I don't mind the rain at all.
All right.
It relaxes me.
But for those of you who want the sunshine to come back out, hopefully it will come back out for you a little later. And if not, Mimi will bring it for you right now.
So we'll get to the local news. The Park Hyatt Resort in St. Kitts has been named amongst the Caribbean top luxury resorts by the Caribbean Journal online magazine. The Park Hyatt was listed amongst 15 of the region's resorts, including Silver Sands in Grenada, Eclipse of Half Moon, Jamaica, and the Ritz-Carlton of St. Thomas. According to the write-up, the Park Hyatt was listed as a hotel, in quote, sorry. This is the only Park Hyatt branded resort in the Caribbean and became the halo hotel for the increasingly hip St. Kitts. So they're calling St. Kitts hip. I love that. The five-star resort fits perfectly into its natural environment of St. Kitts Southeast Peninsula with crisp modern rooms, impressive slate of restaurants, and its inspired design that bridges centuries of history on the island. So we're making great headlines.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
And St. Kitts is being called hip, so I love that.
Is that what you call it, hip? Do you
I didn't
even
know we use that word anymore, but I'm seeing it here, so that's fun.
Might depend on the demographic yet again. So obviously good news that we are in the news on that front.
Yes.
All right, more in local news right now. PM Harris attends a Summit for Democracy, hosted and organized by the American President, Joseph Biden. The themes of this particular gathering would be defending against authoritarianism, fighting against corruption, and championing human rights. And this is virtual. It's a 2-day summit, so it began on the 9th. It's going to end on the 10th, and it's the first of its kind ever, bringing together world leaders on this front. So that is some exciting news, and our PM gets to participate in that virtually.
I think I'm traumatized by the word virtual. I don't know.
You are traumatized.
I don't know. Every time I think about virtual, I think about pandemic, I think about Zoom. I'm like, ugh. But yeah, exciting news, interesting. I'm super happy that, you know, again, we're such a global community right now. Like, all of us are neighbors and we're partnering together. So this is great. For the last story for our local news, and as you see, I'm dressed in orange. My cup is orange. Jamie has a sliver of orange, but still in solidarity. Actually, today ends the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and this story ties right in. The use of language contributes to gender-based violence. Gender-based violence remains one of the most prevalent and persistent issues facing women and girls, and sometimes men as well. However, Reverend Pastor Mark Christmas, superintendent of the Methodist Church in St. Kitts, said that the use of language can lend itself to cases of gender-based violence. In this quote, he says, "One of the things I want to throw into the mix where gender-based violence is concerned is that it runs a gamut. My research has told me that part of it has to do with the language that we use. Our language on a large scale is masculine, and so when in the Bible the writers would decide to redo the Bible and have inclusive language instead, you end up in the arms of a better version. Anything else is deemed less," said the Reverend. So again, it's really important how we speak to each other. again, today is the end of the day. I think they have a march coming up, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But again, how we speak to each other is really, really
I
important.
find that so very interesting because when we talk about language and the sensitivity that we have, particularly in terms of gender neutrality or gender equality, for want of a better term, I think it's really important that we capture that, particularly as it pertains to the Bible. Even when we hear a reverend commenting on that, I mean, a lot of things that we talk about tend to be male-based. And I remember discussing it with not necessarily that angle, but discussing text. You know, when we write, we'll see things like he to represent the individual. And academics that I've interacted with started using she just to balance it out. So that might be one of the things that we can do as well. But absolutely interesting to see.
Right. And even the years-long debate about the gender of God. Like maybe, you know.
That's a debate.
Yes, it's been a debate. I feel like God is a woman, and you may feel like God is a man. And again, maybe, I mean.
How about I feel like God is God?
I mean, he was referencing how the language, even in the Bible, again, you know, man is always the umbrella term and the umbrella statement. And maybe that, you know, ostracizes women a bit. Maybe it makes us feel marginalized. When
You cannot feel marginalized, definitely not here.
No, I'm not feeling marginalized here. Again, you're watching Good Morning SKN. That was the local news. We'll be right back with the regional news.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me go!
Let go what? Yeah, let's see what really happened. Let go what? Watch him out with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
And we are back on Good Morning SKN. More of the latest right now. We are bringing you the regional news, so I'll head straight into that. News coming out of CARICOM. The Deputy Secretary General of the Caribbean Community is pledging the community support in the fight against domestic violence. That person is Dr. Alexis Armstrong, and
my cousin.
He is your, well, we'll see what he says about that. So that person is pledging unwavering support. Dr. Armstrong is pledging unwavering support for eliminating family violence, especially violence against women and girls. He was at the time delivering remarks at the virtual United Nations house lighting ceremony on World AIDS Day, which is celebrated on December 1st. So one of the things that Dr. Armstrong said, which was very interesting to me, is that he said this, quote, "We must let the lights that will be turned on shine upon the positive messages that accompany 16 days of activism." Very important. He also encouraged us to advocate for a violence-free Caribbean. So kudos to CARICOM, kudos to the Deputy Secretary General of CARICOM, and all of us who are going to champion that cause, like you and I today, in our orange.
Right. So we're going to move into the international news coming from New York. NYC to impose COVID vaccine mandates on private employers. All private employers in New York City will now need to mandate COVID-19 vaccines for their workers by later this month. The city's mayor announced calling this measure a preemptive strike against the potential spread of the Omicron variant. Again, you know I'm traumatized. During in an interview with NSNBC on Monday, Mayor Bill de Blasio said the mandate, set to take effect on December 27th, also aim to prevent a surge in the new coronavirus infections during the colder months. And you know, it's normally the flu season, it's colder, and COVID seems to thrive in colder weather. So he's implementing that just on the brink of that. The United States has recorded more cases of the coronavirus, according to the Johns Hopkins University data, and more than 788,000 deaths. But the new mandate in the private sector businesses of New York City comes as a federal court has temporarily blocked an attempt by President Joe Biden to impose a similar measure nationally for larger companies. So again, New York seems to be leading the way when it comes to COVID-19 mandates. I know a lot of Kittitians live in New York. I have family who live in New York, so I know that would be affecting some people from St. Kitts and Nevis as well.
Absolutely. And when we talk about these mandates, it's very interesting that that debate is never going to go away, because we are talking, of course, about the balance between personal rights and
choice,
public
right.
responsibility.
Right.
So it's very interesting that you have that finding on the federal level.
Right.
And then New York is being
Right.
forced to enforce that COVID-19 mandate.
Right. When I left New York, I visited New York this year, and as soon as I left, they had implemented mandatory vaccines for even dining in restaurants. So I think they have been gradually moving to that level. Of course, a little bit of pushback, but I also feel like because New York was so heavily hit by the pandemic, I remember seeing footage when they had like people, dead bodies just in like
Ouch.
freezers.
Wow.
Like they just didn't have enough space to host these.
So in that case, you
Yeah.
understand why perhaps those measures are going to be implemented.
Yeah, definitely. So that is the international news. I think that's all we have for the news, the latest, right? Unless Jamie has any of his personal news that he wants to share.
Yes, the
That may
personal
make
news
headlines.
is that we will be back right after this. Stay tuned.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Has anyone ever touched you here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you're entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up a mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. Everyone has human rights. This is based on the premise that we are all entitled to rights and freedoms without distinction of any kind with regards to race, color, sex, language, religion, political, or any other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other statuses. Some of these rights include, but are not limited to, according to the United Nations, we all have the right to life, liberty, and security of person, the right to education, the right to not be held in slavery or servitude, the right to not be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile, the right of peaceful assembly and association, the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and the protection against unemployment. We are all born free and equal in dignity. Today is the International Commemoration of Human Rights Day. To discuss this further, we have with us attorney at law, Rochelle Duncan. But first, we will show you a video on human rights.
The past 2 years have painfully demonstrated the intolerable cost of soaring inequalities.
All right, while we get
is at the heart
that
of
video
human rights.
queued up, let's begin
That doesn't
to
mean we
have
must all look the same,
our
think the
chat.
same, or act the same. Quite the opposite. It means that we embrace our diversity and demand that all be treated without any kind of discrimination. That no matter who we are, who we love, or where we live, we have equal opportunities to live in dignity and to pursue our dreams. That from the moment we are born, anywhere on this planet, we have the same rights to life, health, and education, to speak our minds without fear, to enjoy our days in a healthy environment. All of us. Equality is about empathy and solidarity, about understanding that as a common humanity, our only way forward is to work together for the common good. But the inequalities inflamed by COVID-19 are pushing us backwards. It is about time we push back and bring them down. On this Human Rights Day, I invite you to join me in lending your name and your efforts to equality, so that we can recover better, fairer, and greener from this crisis, so that we can rebuild societies that are more resilient and sustainable, so that we can stand up for human rights for all.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN, and we're talking with Rochelle Duncan. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you, and I'm very happy to be here. So let me extend my gratitude for allowing me to be here.
I'm hearing a bit of an accent, am I?
Yes, really. Yes, yeah, a little bit.
From where?
I'm Jamaican.
Oh, okay. I'm not hearing a Jamaican accent, but I'm hearing something. Okay, so what can you tell us about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in a summary for a layperson like myself?
Right. Well, it's essentially an international document that lays out what the rights of each person are. So it was created after World War II. Mm-hmm. So the leaders of the United Nations got together and decided each person has these inalienable rights. So it has 30 articles that outlines what those rights are. For example, your right to life, your right to liberty, as my friend here was saying, right to not be enslaved and things like that.
Mm. So you are here to talk to us about human rights, and obviously it's something that you're passionate about based on our discussion before. So what would you like the public to know about human rights and what it means for them?
What I would like the public to know about human rights is that each person has these rights. Each person has the ability to live a life that is free from oppression, that is free from discrimination. And we should all respect that about each other. So even now with the pandemic, there is this issue about public interest versus the rights of individual persons. So that discussion is very heated right now.
Yes,
and
it really is.
we have to admit that yes, whilst we have to consider the public interest in aspects of it, we also must consider the individual rights that people have.
All right, so I mean, we're talking about, you mentioned like how the debate is going back and forth, and I know there's some segments of people in society that are also, you know, sometimes we're in conflict with them in terms of their rights, like sex offenders, prisoners, homosexuals, and even children. I know sometimes their rights are breached by municipal laws. Can you tell us, I mean, why and how can we change it? What are your feelings about that?
Well, you mentioned prisoners. That's interesting because our constitution actually essentially suspends rights once you are an imprisoned person. But you can understand why, because freedom of movement.
True.
Once you're in prison, you don't have freedom of movement. So that's kind of a touchy issue. As I said, certain rights are suspended. You don't have the freedom to do certain things whilst you're in prison because you're in punishment and you're in confinement. So you don't have access to those type of rights that we free people have access to.
So that is one of the exceptions to, the law.
That's absolutely an exception. In terms of gay rights, that is an ongoing debate, and then that's something that will not end today because we in the Caribbean, we don't have gay rights on our books. Some persons might say, well, gay rights are human rights, which is technically true. However, gay people are a vulnerable group. So there should be
specific.
If it is that our rights, that our constitution or any laws that we have in the Caribbean are going to protect gay people, it would have to be specific
to that community.
Exactly. That we don't have right now.
Right. But I mean, there have been discussions. I mean, when I was younger, I mean, the whole topic was very taboo.
Yes.
But I realize it's coming more mainstream. We're becoming more comfortable having those conversations.
Yes. And as a society, as a global society, I believe that we're becoming more accepting of different people.
Yes.
So that's why the conversations, as we should be, that's why the conversations are becoming more open. But in terms of laws, we in the Caribbean, it's still type of a taboo argument, but at least we're having the discussion.
Yes, at least we're starting.
We'll get there someday.
Yes.
Someday, definitely. But you can understand why to some extent because a lot of our laws are culturally based.
Exactly.
So there is that concept.
And we are a religious society.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that is why I suppose we will have that debate going on. All right, Ms. Duncan, what are some of the fundamentals of human rights?
What are some fundamental human rights?
Yes, some of the fundamentals of human rights.
Well, some fundamental human rights that are enshrined in our Constitution is the right to life, right to liberty, protection from inhuman treatment, and protection of movement.
With respect to inhuman treatment, we are currently in the period of the 16 days against violence.
Against women.
Yes, against. So what can you tell us about the linkage to human rights and that particular campaign, that particular protection from inhuman treatment? Is it that forms or informs part of that debate for us that we can move forward?
It absolutely informs because we, as I said, we have the right to protection from inhuman treatment. So violence against women is, as the UN has called it, it has been a shadow pandemic. Since we've been experiencing COVID, the numbers of women who are experiencing domestic violence, women and men, and children also, has increased drastically.
Yes.
So there are specific international laws and treaties that speak to the elimination of violence against women, which St. Kitts and Nevis has ratified.
All right. So, I mean, there's a human rights, is there, so let me ask, is there a human rights commission in St. Kitts? Is there?
Well, I would not say that. There are people who are advocates for human rights, and there are organizations that is a part of their mandate to vocalize certain issues.
So we don't have a commission. Is it in the
Well,
works?
I'm really not in a position to say. I don't know.
Okay, all right. So what can be done? I mean, we're on this platform where tons of people are watching. What can be done to educate the general public, the youth, about their human rights?
I think it's absolutely wonderful what you guys are doing, and this is a start. This is where it starts. It starts with each individual person. It starts with people with influence like yourselves, initiating the conversation and informing people via social media, other forms of media, and putting out certain campaigns. Those are things that we should take into consideration and think about doing, putting the word out there. That's the important part.
Yes.
And very quickly, today is International Human Rights Day, as we said. What are some of the activities taking place to mark this day?
I'm really not in a position to say that because I don't know. I know that there are certain radio stations that will highlight the day, and there are certain organizations that will have their campaigns. But in terms of a national campaign, I'm not aware of any. But I know that private people are doing things.
Okay, like yourself, coming here to inform us on the importance. So very quickly, I again want to thank you for coming and interviewing with us today on Good Morning SKN. And the last word that we have for the public on human rights is yours.
Thank you. As I said earlier, I just want to implore everyone to respect every other person. We all have opinions on different things. However, we must also respect the opinions of other people. You have rights, so do I.
Thank you so much. You're watching Good Morning SKN. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be right back.
You see that new boy that just joined the school last week? He brought me a chocolate this morning because I showed him the way home from school yesterday.
You like him?
No, he's just my friend. Plus, he is my neighbor. He asked me if we can walk home together for lunch tomorrow, and I told him yes.
I don't like these big boys. They tend to like to touch girls without your consent.
What do you mean by consent?
It's when one person agrees to give permission to another person to do something.
He is cute though. Guys, you won't believe what happened the other day with the new boy from school.
What happened?
The other day, while walking home with the new guy, he followed me into my house. I thought it was okay because he seemed friendly and respectful. So I turned on the TV and offered him a soda. We sat in the chair together. Then he leaned over and he kissed me. I was so shocked, I sat up straight and asked him why he did that. He said he thought I liked him. I told him not in that way.
What? Girl, you should have never allowed him inside your parents' home. My parents will be very angry if they meet any boys in our home plus kissing me.
Guys, we don't need to be burdened down with teen pregnancy and relationship problems at this time. Boys need to understand that girls are not sex objects.
Remember, you have the right to consent to every activity being performed, from holding hands to anything more, and to change your mind at any time. If your partner does not respect your wishes, this also is a form of abuse. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
And you are watching Good Morning SKN. The National Carnival Queen Pageant is one of the most highly anticipated events of Sugar Mass outside of the beloved Carnival parades, that is. Every year, there is a great excitement for the contestants and for the pageant itself. We look forward to the talent segment and the evening wear, and we all have our favorites. And we practically customarily look out for them to say they cheat. Nonetheless, there was always a winner. And today we have in the studio a former, you're still reigning. You're still a reigning queen in my books. Haley Casius, the 1987 to 88 Miss St. Kitts and Nevis.
Good morning.
Nice to have you with us today. How are you doing?
Nice to be here. I'm okay. I'm just a little in making an appearance in some way. So yes, they did see some potential. And it may seem strange now, but it was at the time a very anxious experience for me because expectations were high. And I had high expectations of myself as well.
And the expectations is what? Like it's bubbling in your chest at night when you're trying to sleep.
Everything that you don't want to happen, you start to think about, could this possibly happen? Yeah. I hope this won't happen.
Yes, I remember one of my concerns was like, I hope me fall on stage. I hope me fall on stage.
Yes, I hope I don't trip.
Yes, I hope I don't fall on stage.
I imagine your experience was somewhat different from contestants who perhaps never had stage experience before.
Yeah, well, definitely it would be. I can't speak so much to theirs, but I can tell you, for example, when I am preparing persons, because besides having one Miss St. Kitts, prior to that, was always involved in chaperoning. And it may sound strange, yes, because as in my teenage years, I actually recall that a while ago. In my teenage years, there were a few of us who were quite ambitious, I would say no. And because of our little experience, persons gravitated to us and asked us to assist. So if we weren't assisting behind the scenes, we were actually coaching persons. So see how that would have helped to shape my own experience. Right. So one of the strange things that I just remembered is that I was chaperoned to Jeffrey Hanley, who is now a political candidate. What? And so I was there trying to think of things that I could possibly say or be asked, and I said, wow, imagine I had that experience, and it was quite one that I would say, it was fun. It was fun having to deal with a male as opposed to a female, and seeing similarities as opposed to differences,
So tell us about your talent. I think that is maybe my favorite segment of the show. Do you remember? Do you remember your talent, and can you tell us about it?
Well, I can't remember. I danced.
Oh, you
danced.
I
can't remember the routine in full. I think, if my memory serves me correct, that it was called Spirit of a New World. And the concept of the dance, I actually conceptualized it, and it was about showcasing different dance techniques at the time, because I wanted to show that I could do various dance styles. So that was it. But in terms of my experience as a dancer on the stage, the one that I would actually want to talk about is when I entered the Miss Carnival pageant, because I totally felt, I think I was put in a position where I did not know what would be the outcome of the dance because it rained just before I was going to dance on the stage. And you know what? Our Caribbean settings are like stages, outdoors, right? So there was an attempt to mop up. But imagine someone who is now going to dance barefooted, attempting things like splits. I'm saying attempting because sometimes we think we're professional and we're not. And so I was quite, hesitant and not wanting to do it then. But then there's an order of appearance, so I did that. But I was really a bit terrified, very fearful about what would happen. So I did a lot of improvising. It wasn't about sticking to routine. It was about improvising. And that, to me, is what pageant experience brings to you as an individual. It teaches you how to deal with those type of moments where you have to make split decisions, where you have to make sure that you're able to still, accomplish what you're hoping for. But that is something that lives on with me, having to deal with that type of situation. Nobody would imagine that you're going to be dancing, after rain has just fallen and the stage is still wet and slippery.
All right, so you mentioned Carnival. We want to talk about that a little bit more, but we'll take a brief commercial break and we'll be right back.
Do you need your laundry or dry cleaning picked up and delivered? Well, Express Laundry has got you covered. We will pick up and deliver your laundry or dry cleaning to and from our partner laundromat fast and easy. Call or WhatsApp 660-7940 or 661-7717 for details. Express Laundry, bringing laundry and dry cleaning services to your doorstep.
Check the area code, direct the area code. Anywhere me go, you know me touch the road like this, touch up the road like this, touch up the place like this, touch up the stage like this. Come rep your place, rep your flag, where you from, who you are. The world is a stage, so showcase like a star. You little up, we begin and we come from far. Then we take it to the world, so I carry us there. So we roll, yeah, so we roll, yeah. High performance anytime we touch the road, yeah, that's how we roll.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN, and I am honored to be in the company of two former reigning queens.
We're still reigning.
You're still reigning. Well, she reminds me every day, by the way. All right,
yes,
so
she's embracing it.
what we have now is a little bit of a contest. We're going to pretend that this is the Good Morning SKN Queen Show, and you are going to do what I call your introductory walk and or twirl, and I will decide who I think is, well, rather, who still has it.
They done cheat. I just want to say, they done cheat.
All right, Miss Casius, you first.
Talking about putting you on the spot.
It's 1987 all over again.
So you want to see if I can still bring it?
Oh, yes.
Yes! All right.
I think I'm making a little bit of fool of myself, but...
Not at all. I think that's what we do every day, so... You won't win this one.
Right.
You won't win this one.
Right. My turn.
I think you're already in character, you know.
I'm not. My turn, okay. Hi. You have to have on this very stiff smile. You have to wave. Spin. Are you swaying?
I'm going to tell you that was too tough to call, so I'm going to put it to our viewers because, I have to work with this one every day.
You're instantly my favorite person. Thank you. See? Thank you.
So, you mentioned Carnival. How was that experience?
Well, of course, if you win, whenever you win,
yes, the reward for good work is more work.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, speaking to you and you having had the experience, you would understand that there were times when you wondered, winning, what next? Is this really something that is going to catapult me into something more positive, into more positive experiences? And I would have to say that winning the show itself, yes, that was quite a happy experience, but in terms of having to execute, having platforms, paying attention to those things, that was part of my expectation. But unlike now, where there's more focus and there's more work towards persons actually working with a sense of purpose on something important, that didn't transpire. So I had practically a year where I kept wondering what next for me in that position. And there was a lot communicated then about what the possibilities were, but nothing materialized.
I think that was my experience as well.
Yeah.
Like I expected, okay, I won. Oh, that's out of the way. Now time for me to be this ambassador and to champion certain rights and push certain platforms. And I don't think I was opted that opportunity as well. But I hope for these coming queens in this cycle that more emphasis will be put outside of the pageant and actual volunteerism and community work and actually in people.
And that is where people like you come in, because you're very current and now you have a finger, you have this platform as well. So you can encourage persons to really keep them, as we say, keep them honest, what they've promised, help them to deliver it. Okay, so it was disappointing in some ways, but out of that, persons got to know me. And being in the public eye can be very challenging at times, because it isn't always, it's not always about smiling, and there are times that you want to be private. I can be a very private person. However, persons, you have certain demands on you that you feel that you have to say yes to. And I'm not talking about the smiling and making appearances, but sometimes there are those expectations from family members, from persons who are close to you as well, and people don't see that. So those times can be very challenging for persons who have won, and even all I'm saying, persons who have won, and you've invited me here as Miss St. Kitts. We have to remember, it's something I said to persons as a chaperone, that persons who don't win, but first runner-ups, even persons who don't place, it is a winning experience for them, because what they've learned on the journey is equally important. It comes down at the end of the day to the maths and to what the criteria, what you have to achieve. But in terms of the journey to get there, that's where you hear them say very cliche, we're all winners. We're all winners. Okay, so in that sense, that is, part of the journey.
Well, I have to say, being in your presence today, I feel like we are all winners, and I'm sure our viewers feel the same. I want to thank you for gracing us with your presence, Ms. Casius.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Okay. We'll be back with more Good Morning SKN right after this.
Good morning, SKN.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies, and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16, and your daughter at 13. So girl a look me, but me know in that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Check me area code, me area code. Anywhere me go, you know me touch the road like this, touch up the road like this, touch up the place like this, touch up the stage like this. Come rep your place, rep your flag, where you from, who you are. The world is a stage, so showcase like a star. We little up, we digging that we come from far. Then we take it to the world, so I carry us there. So we roll, yeah, so we roll, yeah. High performance anytime we touch the road, yeah, that's how we roll.
You're watching Good Morning SKN with Mimi Armstrong and Jamie Morris, live on Studio 327.
Welcome back, everyone. In recent years, there has been a movement towards the use of more natural products for health and beauty purposes. As estheticians and individuals, we are heavily reliant on our health and beauty products being imported. However, there are quite a few local small businesses from where these products can be sourced. One such place is Sugartown Organics, and she's here with us today in the person of Miss Anastsha Elliott. Welcome, Anastsha.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Every time I get to talk with local business owners, it's an honor for me, but it's even more of an honor to talk about beauty products. Isn't that right, Mimi? We joke about this all the time. So what can you tell us about what motivated you to begin this business?
Oh, okay. So I grew up in a house where we were reliant on what we produced. And so it enabled me to see a difference inside of like the health, when it comes to the health scope of the island, to what I was experiencing, what my family was experiencing, and what the community around me was experiencing. And then being able to query, because as a child you're very curious, like, why is everybody always sick around me and I'm not? I'm a mother, she would try to answer those questions and relate it to the food and our diet and just general life. So I grew up with those conversations happening at home. And so when I got to like my late 20s and I saw that, I was able to see that gradual shift. Like our diet was shifting and then we were getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, this can't do. Right? Like, no, this can't do. So I sat down and I had a conversation with my mom and I was like, what can I do to sort of have a positive impact on what I was seeing? And she said to me, you're doing it already. You're just doing it on a very small scale. So why not scale it up? And I said to her, well, I will need access to family recipes to do that, right? She said, sure, just tell me what you need and we'll work it out. So we did. And I was able to use the first set of recipes, because these are recipes that I handed down to my family, so they're very precious to us, right? They're not something that I could just give away. Right. I have people come and they ask me, oh, can I, and I'm like, well, I need permission first, right? So I was able to get those recipes and to study. I went back to school. I did culinary arts because I wanted to get a better understanding of food and how it impacted our health. Mm-hmm. Because I already had a natural training, because my mom, she would always take us on walks and she would point out different herbs and tell us what they're for. And I would ask questions. I asked a lot of questions, like especially the older folks, because I was around them more often than younger people. So I already had these conversations happening, collating this information. So it was really just putting all of that information together and creating something that I thought could have an impact on what I was seeing happening. And so I started out safe, I would say. So I did the hair care and the body care. So we did the soaps, we had shampoos, conditioners, lotion, body scrubs to start first. And then my dilemma now was, how do I put them over to the public? Because, we don't really rally around local first.
Mm-hmm. True.
And so that was my dilemma, which is strange to have. I found it strange to have, but it was what it was. And I had to think about it, like, how can I get people to buy into what I was doing? Yes, I was passionate about it, I believed it, but others might not necessarily
have the same
or have the same experiences, right?
Right.
And so I looked around to see what was happening, and there was this beach festival, Spice Fest. It was the first year, and I was like, okay, so who's going to go to this event, and can they be my customer base? And because I was coming from a natural space, it was like, I didn't think that locals would understand what they meant when they said natural, because to us, everything is natural, because we're in a very virgin space, right? And so I said, okay, let me try it this way, because I would have a customer base who understand what I mean when I say natural. And it would work for me, because then they would try it, they would experience it, and they would talk to their friends who are local, right? And because they have friends who've used it, they would be more open to trying the products. And everything sold that day.
Wow.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, so perfect time, right? Because time is important. So it was like perfect time. And then it just snowballed from there, really. It just snowballed from there. What I planned to do was just to launch the products and just to see how it went and just listen to people and let them guide the product development. I didn't want to put what I thought should be done onto people. I wanted them to tell me what they needed, what they wanted, and then create that way. And so that is what we ended up doing. And out of that, we ended up creating like a full 5 lines of product.
Yes.
So this is what you
so
have
this
here
is
with
really
us
just 2 of the
Two
lines.
The lines that you have.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when you were reading her bio and you said small business, in my head I said big business because it's so many products, and then you've been all over the world talking about sugar work. So can you tell us, how was that experience? I mean, you said you started small, you started safe, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing you in headlines. You're in Europe, you're all over the world. How has that experience been for you?
Well, a lot of that was driven by my desire to just learn as much as I can and just get the products to as much people as I can. When I started out, there wasn't a lot of services available for small businesses. And I came from a background where I did business in school, but secretarial studies. I did business at home. I did journalism. So I could communicate in the written word. I could do the media thing. I wasn't a very good speaker. I'm very shy.
You're my new best friend.
We can't tell that you're
No, I'm very much an introvert, but I had to learn extrovert tendencies. And so I started looking for programs that would force me out into the public where I had to learn those things. And so I did modeling.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You missed our last segment, by the way.
Yes, I did modeling just to get comfortable in front of a camera, on a stage, talking to people. Because before that, when I talk, my voice would broke, it would go very soft, you can't hear me. It was not a good representation. And so I just picked these little jobs that would give me the skills that I needed. So even within journalism, I did media work, I did editorial work, I did news, I did marketing, I did sales. I moved on into graphics and printing just to get all
A
these
little
jobs.
bit of everything.
Yeah.
Which is combined here.
Yes, just combined right here. And then once I started the business, then my next task was how do I get programs that would give me the skills and the exposure that I needed? Because budget is small, I can't pay for marketing, at least not on the scale that I thought I needed or that I was seeing that would be beneficial. And so I found programs. That gave me those skills, right? And allowed me to travel, and traveling sort of widened my viewpoint, right? So I was able to get to places like the UK where I would see packaging like this, right? And it sort of informed
what you did,
my packaging
So
and what I did, and
can you tell
my
us what you
labeling and
have
stuff.
here?
So here I have my hair care, some of my skincare and bath and body products. So this is what we started out first, Yaffine, right? Which is we call this line Little Collection. It's focused on damaged hair, right? So your hair is breaking, splitting, short. You want it to grow a little longer. You want it to feel softer.
I love the way you're looking at me like that.
I know, because you're asking questions.
I know, it's
Sorry.
fine.
It's okay.
It's all
fine.
good.
It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and then out of this, we built the bath and body products. So you have the body butters, the deodorants, the lotions, body wash, the soaps. Soaps from the beginning, but those two have evolved. So you have the facial baths as well as the bath and body baths. And then this is like one of our newest lines. This isn't our main bottles. Our bottles are more like this. So this is we call a premium line, right? So it's our skincare where you get all the inputs, what we call the clinical inputs, right? So the niacinamide, the hyaluronic acid, and those things.
I might need to
that
take this one.
that women are looking for to get the skin tight and toned and looking amazing on the makeup or without, right? Especially right now we're wearing so many masks. We find a lot of women are breaking out.
Right.
And so the products are perfect for that.
Okay. So you were saying in the beginning that, you started at first at home, eating very local. You ate what you planted.
Yes.
So tell me how important is that part of like eating local, non-GMO, I'm assuming homegrown. How important are those things in your product line?
Okay, so even with the skin, what you put on your skin impacts your health, right? Because your skin absorbs a lot of, your skin absorbs. What you eat impacts your health because it shows, right? Especially with us women, what we eat a lot of fatty foods, sugars, it shows on our skin. I tell people that sometimes even when your organs are decleaning, whatever, that will show on your face, right? So sometimes they come and they have a lot of me like, okay, so you need to do a cleanse in addition to the products, right? So I don't look at it one-dimensional. I look at it as a holistic picture. So you need the products on your skin, but you also need your diet change or exercise more, drink more water, that kind of thing. So we always have those little conversations, which are perfect for me because then it helps me to inform on product. Right. But for me, I source a lot of products locally because I want to ensure that the product doesn't have any chemicals, right? That traceability factor is very important for us. We trace everything. So if you ask a question, I could tell you
where it came from,
where these ingredients came from. It's something that we're going to put on the website. So you'll be able to scan a QR code and go to the website, sugartownorganics.com.
Sugartownorganics.com.
Yes.
I wish we had more time to talk with you today because you're very engaging. Unfortunately, we do not. But I'm grateful that you came today to educate us about skincare and beauty products.
Yes.
More Good Morning SKN right after this. Stay tuned.
Do you need your laundry or dry cleaning picked up and delivered? Well, Express Laundry has got you covered. We will pick up and deliver your laundry or dry cleaning to and from our partner laundromat fast and easy. Call our WhatsApp 660-7940 or 661-7717 for details. Express Laundry, bringing laundry and dry cleaning services to your doorstep. It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me go!
Let go what? Yeah, let's see what really happen. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Wanderlust, the strong longing for impulse towards wandering. In this case, for many of us, it's traveling outside of our federation and sometimes the region. In 2022, COVID-19 literally paused travel for vacationers. Planes were grounded, airports were silent and empty. It was weird. And many of us experienced withdrawal symptoms. Even the planes couldn't wait to get back in the sky. Now that the travel restrictions have been lifted, where are we going and what's the next vacation spot?
I heard you say Cuba.
Yes,
a couple of days ago.
want to go. I've been wanting to go to Cuba for years and years. I can't wait. So it's definitely on the top of my bucket list. What about you?
I'm one of those people who likes to escape the tropical climate. So I've always wanted to take a cruise in Alaska.
An Alaskan cruise.
An Alaskan cruise.
You went to Canada in the Christmas time.
I did.
And so do you enjoy being cold?
I'll say as I don't want to say senior citizens, the seasoned among us say many moons ago. That's what they would say, right? So yes, I visited there. I like the cold. I like difference. But what do you like about Cuba though?
The culture, the history. From my observation and from friends' visits, they said the people are very warm, very hospitable, the food is good. It's much simpler. Like, there's not people on their phones everywhere. There's no Wi-Fi all over. You can't just like stand up outside of McDonald's and get Wi-Fi. It seems to be really difficult to connect with the internet in some places. So you're actually aware. You know, sometimes people are on vacation, but they're glued to their phone so much that they almost haven't left. Yeah, so Cuba would give you that opportunity to just indulge in what's happening, and that's what I'm looking for.
Or, if you're like me, you could turn the phone off and have your vacation wherever you are.
Even if my phone is off, I think I still hear pings in my head. but you're talking about the cold, and I do want to, as a Christmas girl, #Christmas girl, I do want to.
You got to pay me for that. Huh? You have to pay me for coming up with that.
You have to copyright it first.
Jan was here. Oh boy. Anyway, keep going.
I want to have a white Christmas. So yeah, that's high up on my bucket list.
Have you ever had a white Christmas?
No, I've never.
You've never had a white Christmas.
No.
Oh boy.
So I want to be in a cabin. I want to drink hot chocolate. Wow. I want to wear matching PJs with somebody. Yeah, I want to do that.
You've never had a white Christmas. So what do you do? Okay, I got to ask you now. What is our Caribbean version to that song? I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Every time it plays, you feel left out?
I imagine myself having a white Christmas. What
do we say here to that? Are we dreaming of a sandy Christmas? We're dreaming of a tropical Christmas?
A tropical Christmas, a warm Christmas.
Well, it's warm anyway.
It's funny because I'm not a lover of the cold. Like when I go to the U.S., even in the fall, it's beautiful, but I'm freezing. Like I jump out of the vehicle and I feel like, oh my God, did I forget my clothes? It's that cold, right? But again, I just, because there's so many songs and illustrations of a white Christmas, like I really would like to try it out for myself and see.
Yeah, it's
so you've
nice.
had white Christmases?
I've had many white Christmases. I've actually walked around in about 2 to 3 feet of snow. It snows roughly when the temperature is about 30 degrees, so I was privileged enough to see it more than once.
Is it as fun as it looks?
It is, but you need the right gear because when it just falls, it's great. You're walking through it, that's fine. After, you have to deal with the ice, which is really slippery, and I've known people who have gotten a few falls a few times. Not me.
So what are your other, give me like your top 5 places that you would like to travel to.
Got you. So I said Alaska already. Let's go down south to Antarctica. I'll spend a week in Antarctica. There's something about seclusion, something about places less traveled to. I'd go there. I would visit Italy if I could. I would take a stop to New Zealand.
Nice.
As well. And finally, my last, okay, let's go Europe, Poland. Go back to Europe.
Those are interesting things. I think I'm going to come with the cliche one. Oh, I want to go to the Maldives.
Okay, that's not so cliche.
I want to go to Egypt because I want to see the pyramids for myself.
That's great.
Yes, I want to see the pyramids. So there's Cuba as well. I had a client who came to me yesterday, and she's living in Latin America. She lived in Panama, and she said it's one of those places that you should definitely travel to. So I think I'm etching that one up a little bit more on my list. And where else do I want to go? I want to see the Eiffel Tower.
Ooh, oui.
Yeah, I think once you're like in Europe, like traveling
around
is easier.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's also very beautiful. I want to go to Switzerland too, so that's 6.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I think I have a lengthy list, but those maybe are my top for today. Maybe if you ask me tomorrow, they'll be a little bit different. So guys, I want you to tell us what places you would like to travel to. What's your bucket list of travel places? Let us know in the comments, or you could send us an email. You're watching Good Morning SKN. We'll be right back.
You see that new boy that just joined the school last week? You see that new boy that just joined the school last week? He brought me a chocolate this morning because I showed him the way home from school yesterday.
You like him?
No, he's just my friend. Plus, he is my neighbor. He asked me if we can walk home together for lunch tomorrow, and I told him yes.
I don't like these big boys. They tend to like to touch girls without your consent.
What do you mean by consent?
It's when one person agrees to give permission to another person to do something.
He is cute though.
Guys, you won't believe what happened the other day with the new boy from school.
What happened?
The other day, while walking home with the new guy, he followed me into my house. I thought it was okay because he seemed friendly and respectful. So I turned on the TV and offered him a soda. We sat in the chair together. Then he leaned over and kissed me. I was shocked. I sat up straight and asked him why he did that. He said he thought I liked him. I told him not in that way.
What? Girl, you should have never allowed him inside your parents' home.
My parents will be very angry if they meet any boys in our home plus kissing me.
Guys, we don't need to be burdened down with teen pregnancy and relationship problems at this time. Boys need to understand that girls are not sex objects.
Remember, you have the right to consent to every activity being performed, from holding hands to anything more, and to change your mind at any time. If your partner does not respect your wishes, this also is a form of abuse. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492. Special Victims Unit 662-7077. Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
That Trinidadians like a lime, so do petitions and divisions.
Yes.
And with the opening of the borders and the economy, more places are opening up as liming spots. Let's look at a few of these locally. And you have to tell me what these are. We've got a list of these places. Unfortunately, I don't know how petition I'm going to be right now. I've never been to any of these places. So,
you've never been to any one of these?
I've never been to anyone. And our viewers are wondering, what are they talking about? What's the list?
Okay.
So what's first on the list, Mimi?
The first on the list is the Swing Restaurant and Bar in Keon, St. Kitts.
I think we have an image of it, actually.
Newly opened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really charming. It's a really cozy spot. It actually, again, it's newly opened. I actually know the persons who own it. And yeah, I've been there a few times.
Have you ever been on a swing like that?
No, I don't trust.
You go to the swing restaurant and you avoid the swing?
I don't trust the swing. I think
Mimi,
it's there for aesthetic
on.
purposes, but everybody takes pictures there. So Jamie, do I need to invite you? Do we need to do a St. Kitts tour where we stop at all of these liming spots?
Is this where we go upstairs to management again and say, hey,
Yes.
this is one of the things that we want to do?
Yes, these are one of the things we want to
management,
do.
if you're watching.
But yeah, it's a bar and a restaurant. They have some really nice food. On Wednesdays, I think they have like a live pasta night, so that would be an interesting time.
Awesome.
Yeah, they have a chef there making
Live pasta.
So Jamie, so you mean you don't lime at all?
I'm too busy to lime. All right, the next one. The next one on the list apparently is the Yachtsman's Grill, Cotton Ground Nevis. Ooh, we're going over the water.
Yes.
Nice. So we have an image of that.
Again,
OYG.
absolutely.
Have you been there?
Yes, I have.
Where haven't you been? All right. Yachtsman.
Yes, I've been to the Yachtsman Grill. It's one of my favorite restaurants in Nevis, actually. Beautiful oceanfront, great food. I've been there, for several birthdays, mine and other people's birthdays. So it's one of my favorite spots on Nevis, actually. Arthur's Dip Bay.
That's the third one.
Have you been there?
I've been to Dip Bay.
Oh my
I told you I didn't go to any of these places. I said
Jamie,
that.
I'm still
That's why you
trying.
plugged for management to take us there.
Arthur's is absolutely beautiful. Okay, management, this is big serious. I'm serious.
Uh-oh, we're in crisis mode, guys.
We need to take Jamie to these places. We need to get Jamie his liming certificate. But yes, Arthur's is in Dip Bay. It's a part of Kittishan Hill. I worked there. And it's a fantastic seafood restaurant. It also has some things for land lovers like myself. But the view I love country. I love the countryside. But the view of Statia is absolutely
Well, you had
beautiful.
that view when you were working at Petition Hill because you were elevated anyway.
Yes. But from the ocean and when the sun is setting is absolutely beautiful.
You were elevated. So this is interesting. So far we've been through 3 of the places to go to lime in St. Kitts and Nevis. We've gone through the Swing Restaurant and Bar in Keon.
Yes.
Yachtsman's Grill.
Yes.
In Cotton Ground Nevis.
Yes.
And Arthur's in Dip Bay. What is the 4th one on the list?
Crishy Beach Club in Nevis, Clifton's Nevis.
So we're back in Nevis.
Yes. Have you been to Crishy
This is
Beach?
me asking you here, okay? Because you know I have. You see what she's doing, guys? She's terrible. She's just needling because I beat her yesterday at Jenga. And I confronted her.
You need to let bygones be bygones. We're here today. Again, Crishy Beach, another one of my favorites. Beautiful on the ocean. As an island girl, I love the ocean. I love the ocean front, so it's fantastic. They're actually supposed to be having a full moon party sometime soon. I'll have to find out the details and let you guys know. But yes, excellent place if you're going over to Nevis, if you need a small change of scenery.
And the last one on the list is Boozies. Okay, this one is in my area.
But have you been?
I've passed by it many times.
My heart is weeping.
All right, well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. So you've seen our list. Leave us a comment. Let us know where you are liming at Studio 327 Inc. We'll be back after this.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So girl a look me, but me no in a that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Every day we are inundated with stress. Stress from work, relationships, pets, children, COVID-19, life, and many of us sometimes find it necessary to find an outlet to just. So many say, I can't take it, I need a break. And the cliche responses are usually, just relax, take it easy. But how do you really relax? How do you just take it easy or get away from the stresses of life? Other than taking a vacation. Our next guest today would help us to release, relax, and to better relate. Introducing Tanya Jeffords of Sakoda Scaper. I'm pronouncing it right?
Actually, I had a name change recently. It's Senses by Sakoda.
Okay, so Senses, but you heard it here first. Senses by Sakoda, a certified esthetician. So how are you doing today?
I'm fine, and thanks for having me. Happy New Year, everybody, when it comes, and season's greetings.
Yes, absolutely. The time is going by super fast. So you offer a range of services to individuals to release stress.
Yes.
You know, it's a high stress time. We're talking about the pandemic every day. Everybody's stressed out. Can you tell us what some of these services are?
Well, a full range of services from massages, facials, manicures, pedicures, body treatments, body detox. Whatever you think about, basically, yes, I perform it. Or it's available at Sakoda.
Right.
All right, so this is from me representing, of course, males in general, which I normally do with Mimi every day. Do you find that more of your clientele are women, or are you getting into that?
It's actually more women, but of recent, we have been more male clients come in because they do need self-care as well, because it's very important for your health, your overall health. So why not?
Right. I know that there's a little, sometimes men find it taboo. They find getting facials are for females. They find getting a pedicure. But actually, you have a face as a man. And your face needs care as well. You have nails.
Yes.
You need to relax. So, yeah, I've been seeing more men doing those things, getting facials, getting pedicures, and we love to see it. So, yeah, we're encouraging men to also take care of themselves. So, I heard that you give excellent massages.
Where did you hear that from?
Word on the street. A bird picked me on my ear and said that you give excellent massages. Can you tell me some of the benefits of getting a massage?
Just come and get one and you'll see.
Oh, I love that plug. I love it.
Just come and
You've
get
been challenged,
one.
Mimi.
Okay, and how often do you recommend that someone get a massage?
It depends on the individual. I have some clients that do it weekly, some do it monthly, and some do it just because. So it depends on the individual.
For special occasions. Jamie, have you ever gotten a massage? Like, you've never been out liming.
I've never been out liming.
But have you gotten a massage before?
Have I gotten a massage before? No, I've never gotten a massage.
So this is your invitation to come on over to Sakoda, Senses by Sakoda, and get yourself a wonderful massage. And then you can come back and you can explain to Mimi what went on. How about that?
I love the voice change, by the way.
I think she should be in our seat. She has the intonation and she has the expressions and everything. Okay, so we could go over and get a massage. You said you offered other services. I think I saw you also offering hair services as well. Is that something that's new?
We have a cosmetologist on staff. She does hair and nails. So hair care, everything from relaxing, natural hair care, locks, everything basically.
Oh, locks as well. That's amazing. Okay, so I know pregnancy is stressful. Can pregnant women get massages as well?
Of course they can. There's a prenatal massage actually available.
Can you tell me about that?
It's just a massage to help relieve the stress on the body from being carrying that weight around for 9 months, basically. Just to relax the body for the expecting mom.
Right.
So in terms of that, you actually massage the belly or
No.
just curious. I'm like,
No. That would be like a gynecologist. No, that's outside my scope of practice. Yes.
Because I was just curious. I'm like, pregnant women getting massages. So how would they be? Because I know, I'm obviously never had a massage before. I know based on television, they were like television.
Sideline, you lay on your side actually.
Oh, you lay on the
and
side.
there's a pillow that you put between
interesting.
your legs, so you're on your side like this, like you're a baby, like in the womb.
Yeah.
Wow, that's super interesting.
And also very comfortable.
Yeah, I could only imagine. So you recently moved into a new location.
Yes.
Tell us how that has been. Are you happy? Tell us where it is. We need the information. We need the
It's
details.
basically an upgrade from where I was, which I'm happy about. It's an
Yes,
upgrade.
of course. Yes.
I'm now in the Science Complex in Unit 8. It's a beautiful little area, so you have to come on in and see for yourself. Words can't describe, so you have to come on in and you see for yourself.
All right, so that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to getting my massage, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. What encouraged you to get into this field? Again, when I think about an esthetician or when I think about massages, I normally think about people on the beach giving massages. So what encouraged you to be an esthetician, and how long have you been?
It's actually a very long story. I don't think we have enough time for that. But I was employed at the St. Kitts Marriott in the spa. And when I received my first professional massage, I was in awe. I was like, how could the power of touch be this amazing? It was my first massage. I had no idea that it was this refreshing. So my body just went in another direction. I think I died.
And was resurrected.
And then that's where it sparked my interest to be in this field. And I've been a certified massage therapist and esthetician for about 14 years.
Wow. Very long time.
No way!
14 years.
And you look 40. I'm obsessed with you.
You are obsessed with
you.
You
look 14.
Absolutely obsessed with you.
Again, that's another piece of encouragement to go and get your facials done, get your massages, take care of yourself. Jamie, me and you need to die and be resurrected with a massage. So again, we'll speak to management about that.
She wants to kill me.
But you're watching Good Morning SKN. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with more massages and health and wellness goodness. All right?
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. As you can see, my lovely co-host is sitting in the chair.
The hot seat.
I love the hot seat. And she's about to experience the power. What did you say? The power of touch. All right.
So this is a simple technique you can use at home. It's called the Petrosage. You just kneel the shoulders. Do both actually. Having a massage is nice, but it's better if you can do it at home yourself. Have your partner do this for you at home.
It's real. I think I'm very tight. I'm always
You are.
Yes, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is good, Jamie. Welcome to the dark side.
Welcome to the dark side. I thought that was heaven. Remember, it's supposed to take you to heaven, so that's where you're actually going.
And you come down the spine, just do some little circular motions in the spine. And you can do this at home.
But then it's always good to go to a professional.
It is.
Right. So you could do a little nice, short, small massage at home, but it's always good to go
Have your significant other just give you a little massage at home after a stressful
if
day.
we have a significant other, why?
Well, a friend.
A friend?
Yeah.
I don't have them kind of friends. I don't know if Jamie has those kind of friends.
And back to the massage.
Okay, well, on your little break, when y'all are here at the office, you just give each other a little back massage. How about that?
We'll talk. We'll talk. It goes well with our breathing exercises, Jamie.
Oh yeah,
Remember
we're definitely learning to relax. So the
Yeah.
folks at home could definitely benefit from what they're
You
seeing.
inhale for 4, and you exhale for 8.
Now, if our viewers at home, wait, I need to ask you before. I see you're massaging the neck now. Tell us about that.
Just kneeling, same. This is the direction you use. You just do this, basically.
How does that feel, Mimi?
It feels amazing. I could feel all my stress, all my bills, all my problems.
Wow, you've got that power.
I don't. the bills, no.
I was hoping.
No.
Jamie, do you want to turn? Do you want to get in and some of this? Come on. That's what Jamie.
Oh my gosh, you
That's
guys are
what
putting
Jamie
me on
is.
the spot. There we go.
You're gonna lose your massage virginity, I guess.
Power of touch.
Yes, the power of touch. And again, if we wanted to contact you, can you give us the information? Where can we find you?
Okay, you can go online. It's senses@sakoda.com, www.sensesbysakoda.com, or you can contact me directly at 762-3359.
And you're located now in the
Sands Complex, yes, correct.
What number?
Unit 8.
Unit 8. All right. So you know where to go. And you also, do you do gift certificates? It's
Of
Christmas time.
course we do. That's
time
one of
for
the
giving.
#1 sellers, gift certificates.
Okay, perfect. So you could gift your 2 favorite morning hosts a massage or facial at any time. Again, you have her website information.
Mimi, you're so shameless.
Or give your significant other. It's the time of giving. It's Christmas time, my favorite time of year. So it makes a perfect gift. I mean, and I know, again, lots of males are afraid of being touched. They're afraid of getting facials and pedicures. But I think it's always an amazing experience. And they always leave. Just like you after your first massage, you're always like, oh my God, this is great. I can't believe I've been missing out on this. So I think it's the perfect time. And Christmas time is so much stress. It's the perfect time to get a little ounce of relaxation and ease and rest. But what about you? Like, as the practitioner, how do you relax? How do you get that?
Funny, you should ask. Because when I went to massage school, that was in 2006, I took my significant other with me because I was not going to massage someone and have no one massage me back. So we both did the course.
Really?
Yes, but that significant other is out of the picture right now. So the present significant other, he took an online course because I'm not going to be the only one massaging and not receiving massages.
I love that equality. We're talking about equality.
Yes.
I didn't even think about that. That's really amazing. So your significant other give massage. Okay, now you're talking about significant other giving massages. Do you offer couples massages?
No.
No, you don't. Oh, okay.
Oh yes, I do. Sorry, but not with that significant.
No. I'm not asking you.
But yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yes, we do. Yes,
so
we do.
couples can come in,
Yes.
and again, it's something that's very romantic and
It
relaxing
is.
for
It
both
is.
of them.
It is.
I don't think that's so smart. Jamie, how are you feeling? Are your bills, are your problems
disappear
going away?
Are my bills or my problems going away? Where am I? I can't,
I think Jamie
I've been
is
transported.
transcending. I think Jamie is transcending.
Oh, man.
Again, she's a licensed practitioner for 14 years. I still can't
14
believe,
years.
I still can't believe 14 years. So lots of experiences. So yes, head on down to the Sands Complex. Can you plug your information one more time?
It's Senses by Sakoda, www.sensesbysakoda.com, and contact number 762-3359.
All right, so you can contact her. Again, Christmas is the perfect time to give the gift of relaxation. So get your loved ones, your significant others, your friends and family gift certificates to go
I know what
down
you're getting me this Christmas. All right.
and see her, right? You're watching Good Morning SKN. We'll be right back.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
You're watching Good Morning SKN with Mimi Armstrong and Jamie Morris, live on Studio 327.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. I know that we began the show this morning talking about the latest, but as fate would have it, we actually have even more relevant news to bring you right now. And this concerns a 4.4 magnitude earthquake that was off the coast of St. Martin, I think about 36 or so kilometers, if my readings are correct, a little while ago. People here said that they felt the earthquake.
Did you feel it?
Did you feel it? No, I didn't feel it.
I didn't feel anything, but I saw some people in the studio saying that they felt it. I felt one earthquake one time. Like, I'm always that one who misses it when everybody's on WhatsApp saying, "Did you feel it? Did you feel it?" I'm like, no, I didn't.
No, this is some scary stuff, though, because I remember roughly, and I don't want to date, about 3 months ago or so, I was in my house, and there was this gigantic thud. I don't know how you missed that one. Maybe you weren't here. But, yeah, it was terrible. So hopefully those folks in St. Martin and the surrounding areas are doing okay, no structural damages.
Hopefully.
I pray, because this is all very scary, and it seems that we're having a little more activity than normal right now.
Right. So we're on What's Happening, and again, we're wearing orange. Jamie even has an orange pen. In solidarity for the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And today, all of that will climax with a convoy of awareness march. It will start at 4 p.m., and people will be marching from Greenlands to the end of Independence Square. So if you're available, you could come out today, wear your orange in solidarity, and we'll come out and support the victims and survivors of gender-based violence.
Well, this is scary stuff, because when you talk about it, and I'm glad that, I'm aware enough to wear the orange, and I'm sure when we leave here, we'll see a lot of other people in the orange, but it's scary to think that when we're talking about violence, especially the subset of this, which is domestic violence, the home is supposed to be that place that provides safety. And for people around the world, and people even here, Mimi, in our community, it's very scary to know that when you close your eyes at night, you might be subject to that violence. So kudos to all of the people out there who are working to fight against domestic violence. Kudos to all of the people that we've interviewed so far this week who have shed a light on this important issue. Kudos to all of you who are wearing orange today in solidarity of this important cause. Keep
Right.
up
And
the good
kudos to
work.
the survivors. Like,
Absolutely.
there are people who we see every day and we just don't know, what they're going through at home. We don't know what they're facing. We don't know their battles. We don't know their scars.
Yeah.
So kudos to them as well. And for being able to overcome and even handle something as dramatic and destructive as domestic violence.
I like the fact that we're even talking about this because
Yes.
in times past, I guess this would have been taboo to talk about.
Yes,
A lot
yes.
of people like to hide their scars, as you say. It's a private matter. And also, generally speaking, I think traditionally the community has been cautious of, as we would say colloquially, getting involved in people's business.
True. Very, very, very,
Nobody
very
likes
true.
to get involved
And I
in
mean,
that.
even as we're talking about things that are taboo and how the community sometimes stifles those conversations, I mean, we still need to do a lot more work as it relates to domestic violence against men. I know I'm a feminist, maybe.
No, but you're right. It happens too.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, the men sometimes go through these things, and again, it's so taboo. Men are so afraid. The community penalizes them and judges them when they're saying, okay, like, I'm facing this at home. And so I want to take this opportunity to encourage the men to speak out. If you're being abused at home, if you're in a hostile situation, yeah, it's okay to say something about it.
And special shout out right now to the folks who have organized this convoy of awareness march, because we're not going to be gloomy about it. We're going to be
Yes.
grateful and happy that there are people out there who are marching in solidarity.
Yeah, and we have the opportunity to go out and show our support.
Absolutely right. So, hey, everybody, awesome job for raising awareness. Let's see if we can keep this going even beyond these 16
Yes,
days.
of course. So on to a lighter note, and I think we mentioned this today, we have the Senior Calypso Monarch Eliminations. So just a reminder, the Senior Calypso Monarch Eliminations begin today at 8 p.m. at Carnival Village. So turn out to see performances by Socrates, Miss Independent, Lord Matt, Alamu, Lady Jem Karens, and
Alamalu.
Alamalu.
My principal, remember?
I'm sorry. Whoa. Alamalu and much more. They will be fighting to dethrone the defending monarch, Queenie G. I mean, she's excellent, so I'm rooting for her still. I also love Miss Independent. I'm
know.
rooting for all females.
Well, these are the fights that we want to see. So, right? Not these. This is the fight that we want to see.
Yes, these are the fights that we want to see, yes. So 8 p.m. tonight at Carnival Village. Again, this is the 50th year of Sugar Mass. So we're excited to bring back some of these events. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with the finale of Good Morning SKN.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what real happening. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Check me area code, me area code. Anywhere me go, you know me touch the road like this, touch up the road like this, touch up the place like this, touch up the stage like this. Come rep your place, rep your flag, where you from, who you are. The world is a stage, so showcase like a star. You little up, we digging that we come from far. Then we take it to the world, so I carry us down. So we roll, yeah, so we roll, yeah. High performance anytime we touch the road, yeah, that's how we roll.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
You're watching Good Morning SKN with Mimi Armstrong and Jamie Morris, live on Studio 327.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. Every time I say that, I feel energized, Mimi. All right, so we're here with what's happening. It's our last story of the morning, and this is a paint and party with Miss Sue. So Miss Sue will be hosting an event on Saturday, December 11th, 2021, at Michael's Burgers and Gelato. Have you been to Michael's Burgers and Gelato?
No, I've never been.
Okay,
So.
That's the one place you haven't been.
So
All
have
right.
you been? No.
We're talking about you.
Okay.
All right, so she's hosting that event on December 11th at 2021, and it's only $80, right? You'll be given step-by-step instruction as to how to paint, I like this, a tropical Christmas scene. A tropical Christmas scene. So you can go out there, hey, book it. She's on Facebook at Paint and Party with Miss Sue, and on Instagram, here's the handle, at Paint Party SK. Hey, we should do that here. Paint Party SKN.
Yes, we
That's what it
should.
is.
Management again. We'd love to have a paint and party here with anybody.
I'll
So.
settle for paintball so I can shoot her up, right? Would you like to see
I don't
that?
know why Jamie hates me, guys. But Jamie, have you ever been to a paint and sip?
No, I know people who have. I'm sure you have.
Yes, I have.
Uh-huh. You see, I'm getting an education. This experience is educational.
But we want you to have the hands-on experience.
All right, so management.
We're talking to the management a lot today because, I mean, my good friend here needs these experiences.
is
So,
funny.
yeah, tropical, and it's just right across the street, so maybe you
Oh.
could take a pass.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there are some ideas that we can do. I guess maybe we'll go out. Who knows, right?
Yes, that would be nice. That would be
Alrighty.
nice.
So
So
what's
those are
next?
the things that are currently happening. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, and we've been talking about for a little bit, it's the 50th year of Carnival, so there will be lots of activities. You can check out the calendar on the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival page for any updates on the upcoming events. And of course, we'll try to keep you abreast of what's happening next on that calendar. So
All
yeah,
right.
that's exciting. Will you
Yeah.
participate in any Carnival events?
I probably would take in a show or two, maybe the Queen Show, which I've been to.
Oh, great! Jamie's been to the
I've
Queen
been to
Show.
the
So
Queen
are you
Show.
looking forward to it this year?
Yes, because I know two of the contestants personally. They were my
exciting.
former students, so it'd be interesting to see, you know.
Yes, and it will be interesting to see them on stage. Sometimes people have to completely transform on stage and become a different person. I always tell people being in a pageant is an act, it's a performance. Like people always say, be yourself.
So does the
It's
performance
not
ever
about
end?
being. Sometimes.
Quick question, right? Okay, you answered it.
Sometimes it ends.
All right, well, what I want to do now is give all of you some information about Studio 327 and Good Morning SKN, because we wouldn't be here without you, and we need you to know how to get in touch with us. So, Mimi, help me out with this here. We are on social media platforms. So we
Yes.
have Facebook. What's the next one?
We have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat.
All of that.
And even TikTok.
Check this out. TikTok. Ooh, TikTok. We've upgraded. Awesome. TikTok.
At Studio 327 Inc. So leave us a comment on what you think about the show. If there's any topics that you want us to touch on and talk on, we'd be happy. If you have any guests that you want to see on the show, we'd be happy to reach out to them and bring them on the show to have a conversation with me and Jamie.
Yeah, and even more than that, because we're live streaming, we're going global, right? So I'm sure not
We
all of
are
our
global.
viewers are, I'm sorry, I said going.
Yes,
Forgive
we
me.
are global.
In my head is going green, and is, well, you can't see it, but we've been going green all week. But that said, we are global, and so, yeah, we want to know where you're listening.
Yeah.
We want to know where you're watching. We want to know what you have to say to us. So reach out to us. Again, the studio handle is at Studio 327. 327 INC. That's Studio 327 Inc. And please don't forget our live stream. You guys can interact with us when we are live,
Yes,
right?
you can.
Like now.
Leave a comment. Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok.
All of those things. I'm a Facebook guy. I don't know about you. But that might be for the demographic, which Mimi so happily reminds me that I represent.
No, I'm not. No, that's not true. I think you're young, you're hip, you're fresh. You just need to lime a little bit more.
I'm going to play this clip back after today. She said she thinks I'm all right.
Yes, you're hip. You just need
Remember
to
that
lime
for the next time.
a little more. So we need to get Jamie liming. If you have any spots that you think Jamie would love to lime, you could also let us know in the comments.
Hey, that's actually kind of cool. So,
And it's
favorite liming
Friday.
spots.
It's
Friday or whatever we call it. Yeah.
So, Jamie, you haven't limed in any of the spots that we listed. The Swing, Krishy Beach, Arthur's, I'm missing two Boozies.
You know what my lime is? I'll tell you what my lime is.
Yes,
my
tell me what your lime is.
Doesn't necessarily involve a restaurant per se.
Mhm.
It involves going to the beach, finding a quiet spot, sitting on the sand, and listening to the waves crash.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's what I like to do too.
That's
calm
nice.
myself,
That's
right?
nice. I thought you were inside all day.
Not necessarily.
Reading books.
Nah.
Doing
Well,
assignments.
don't remind me. I need to breathe again. I need that massage again.
But okay, so I'm happy to know that Jamie does. I want to let everybody know that Jamie does lime, but he limes like on the beach. He likes those more relaxing settings, and that's fine. That's okay too. That's okay. I mean, but you could mix it up just a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to mix it up. And I'm going to take your suggestions because you guys are going to suggest to us, I'm sure, where your favorite spots are. So again, coming to you live from Studio 327 in St. Kitts and Nevis. This has been Good Morning SKN.
Oh my God, this is the finale of our first week.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we're excited.
So let us know how we did. Let us know how we did.
And see you next week. Bye-bye.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, SKN.